My name's Santiago D.C. Maria, November 15, 2025, Greene's terror. Death threats swarm after Mr. Orange authoritarian tyrant Trump. Epstein brands her a traitor for demanding Epstein files. Listen up. Because if you figured the MAGA freak show couldn't sink any lower after that endless 43-day shutdown, where federal workers were digging through dumpsters for dinner like it was the end times clearance sale. Or after Mr. Orange authoritarian tyrant Trump Epstein's latest brain fart, where he blanked out on what the hell his own MRI was even checking, you better grab a stiff drink and buckle in tight, since right now on this fine November 15, 2025, the entire clown car is flipping over in slow motion from all the bullshit piled inside, and the star attraction, Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, the former high priestess of Trump's ass-kissing cult, is suddenly dodging real death threats from the exact same unhinged keyboard warriors she spent years whipping into a frenzy. Just because she had the guts to slap her name on a discharge petition with a bunch of other Republicans to force the release of every last filthy page from Jeffrey Epstein's files that could blow the lid off the pedophile playground our orange overlord promised to nuke, but is now guarding like. It's his golden toilet, and honestly, the schadenfreude is so thick I could spread it on toast, but it pisses me off even more seeing how fast these hypocrites eat their own when someone stops slurping the Kool-Aid and starts yelling for actual truth instead of more lies. Imagine waking up to your phone buzzing like a hornet's nest on steroids, not with fan mail or those creepy edited photos of you in camo gear, but with security guys you didn't even hire calling to say, hey, your life's in danger from a swarm of threats sparked by the big man himself, who yesterday on Truth Social hung a big fat traitor sign around Greene's neck, yanking his endorsement quicker than he dumps wives, all over her teaming up with Thomas Massie, Lauren Boebert, and Nancy Mace to snag those crucial 218 signatures that could drag the Epstein mess to the House floor next week for a vote nobody in the White House wants. And now she's out here on X at exactly 4:40 p.m. Eastern spilling the tea that Trump's venomous words have always radicalized dudes into threats and even jail time, pointing out as a woman she ain't brushing off creepy messages from men and damn. Comparing her fear to what Epstein's victims went through, saying she gets a tiny taste of the terror those girls felt under that monster's thumb, which is some next-level karma for the lady who used to scream about space lasers and Holocaust comparisons for masks. But here we are, watching the MAGA monster turn on its mommy because she won't stay quiet about the elite child abuse club Trump partied in before pretending to be the swamp drainer. I'm raging so hard right now I could punch through a wall, because this ain't some reality TV beef. This is the nuclear fallout from Epstein's shady suicide. Back in 2019, with his neck bones snapped in ways that screamed cover up louder than a foghorn, and now with 23,000 pages of subpoenaed emails hitting like grenades, including that 2015 note to Michael Wolff, where Epstein straight up says yeah. Trump knew about the underage girls and told Ghislaine to knock it off. Or the 2018 text bragging he could destroy Trump anytime. No surprise the administration's scrambling like roaches under a light. With AG Pam Bondi fake launching a probe into Clinton's 26 Lolita Express trips and ignoring Trump's own 7 flights, the Mar-a-Lago parties where kids were props in a horror show, and Greene's the one screaming no more. Posting videos swearing victims say Trump ain't involved, but we gotta stand with the abused teens anyway, which from her mouth sounds like a broken clock being right twice a day, but screw it. Even a nut job like her seeing through the fog means the cover-up's cracking wide open. Let's back this dumpster fire up a second so you get the full idiot timeline, because Greene was Trump's ultimate fangirl, surviving primaries with his magic touch, chairing that Doge nonsense, voting his way 95% of the time. But last Thursday, she drops a thread hyping the petition and predicting tons of GOP yes votes, naming herself and the other 3 as the transparency squad in a party that loves yelling deep state until it's their guy's name in the logs. Then Friday she texts Trump screenshots begging him to use Epstein against Dems, saying expose the left's pedos and fight for victims. But instead of yeah baby, he ghosts her, calls her wacky to reporters, then blasts on Truth Social pulling support, calling her a lefty disgrace over visas and whatever. But we know it's the Epstein texts that lit the fuse, because nothing triggers his tantrums like reminders of his pedo pal he called terrific. And Saturday he dubs her Marjorie traitor Greene, threatens primaries from real conservatives. And suddenly threats pour in. Security firms warn of hot spots from his paid trolls, and Greene's posting thanks for love, but damn. Fighting for Epstein files and rape victims got me this hate, blaming the political industrial complex for dividing us to fundraise off fear. Saying we got more in common than not, which from the January 6th cheerleader feels like a come-to-Jesus moment, but she's right. The grift demands silence, and breaking it gets you targeted. This whole mess exposes how shaky Trump's throne is, built on hot air and fear, collapsing when even Greene demands answers on Epstein's web of elites and intel ops, calling him history's top pedo with more out there. And now Massey tweets support. Boebert pushes transparency. Mace faces primary whispers. Dems like Garcia call it desperate stonewalling. Jeffries says pedo protection. AOC live tweets rich men dodging justice. Protesters chant unseal or resign, and Johnson's whipping votes after blocking Grijalva's seat to stop the petition. But if it passes, DOJ has 30 days despite Bondi's Clinton deflection. Jeffer's family pushes for the 20 unnamed conspirators, all while the country's broke from shutdown. Jobless up 15%, food stamps endless, ACA hikes looming, Trump's check promises fake, but hey, priorities. Greene's playing martyr smart, hedging with prayers for success, followers booming, polls tanking Trump to 38%. MAGA accounts call her compromised, but her God over Trump line hits even if she's late, because MAGA eats loyalty over truth, and this vote could be the spark. Part of me laughs at her getting bitten by her own dogs, but mostly I'm furious at the system letting a prez incite violence, victims waiting forever, transparency a joke until it bites back. So push your reps, back the vote, amplify survivors, subpoena Bondi and Andrew, because if MTG can flip, we can burn it all down and rebuild without the elite scum. Trump's desperate DOJ dodge. Bondi and Johnson pull the investigation card to bury Epstein files and screw us all, Jesus Christ. Just when you think the Epstein cover-up can't get slimy enough with Mr. Orange authoritarian tyrant Trump, Epstein sixing his goons on Dems to distract from his own Lolita Express joyrides and emails, admitting he knew the girls, bam. November 14, 2025. AG Pam Bondi announces a shiny new probe, but only into Clinton and Summers, handing it to Jay Clayton, who's lawyered for big Epstein-connected fish. All to slap an active case sticker on everything and block Congress, from the unredacted files that would nail the whole pedo elite club he partied with at Mar-a-Lago kid fests. And Speaker Mike Johnson, that Bible-thumping weasel, delayed swearing in Dem Adelita Grijalva for months to kill the petition, caves Wednesday, schedules the vote, but it's all smoke. He's been blocking like a pro. Saying oversight's got it when it means redact Trump's 7 flights, and that email telling Ghislaine stop the girls like it's no biggie. This stall is so obvious it hurts. White House freaks over the 23,000 emails dropping November 12 with Epstein's Trump takedown boasts, invents the probe to withhold forever. Clock ticking past elections, logs buried, while we're suffering shutdown aftermath, jobs gone, lines for aid miles long. Health premiums exploding, families broke, Trump photo-opping abroad, promising checks that ain't coming, consistent in screwing us to hide his dirt. Dems better subpoena Bondi and Johnson yesterday. Rally the GOP for getting threatened because the rot's stinking. And truth could end this nightmare before we all break. I just want to thank you all, like, share, and follow to stay connected. I am Santiago del Carmen Maria, the Queen of Crowning Thoughts, because I say it like it is. Copyright 2025, independent writer, Crowning Thoughts truth speaker. AI video content creator, writer, blogger, Santiago DC. Maria. All rights reserved.